Hi friends. Okay, let me take off my glasses. Activating blind. Happy New Year, you guys. I'm just gonna do my makeup and I'm gonna talk about how I felt 2023 was and how I'm feeling for 2024. I might not mention too much about the products that I'm using because this is not a tutorial, my girls. I'm using the Precisely My Brow Pencil by Benefit in 9. And I was contemplating too if I wanted to do my brows like before I started this video, because usually that's something that I would do, but I felt like I wanted to do it on camera with you guys. Like I just wanted to really start my makeup from start to finish with you guys. So I hope 2023 was a great year for you guys, or at least a pretty good year, and I hope you guys are feeling really good about the new year. Now for me, 2023 was, see, I started getting ready to talk and stop doing the makeup. And let me know in the comments down below, but I've asked a few people, like I've asked a few of my friends, I've asked some coworkers, I've asked a decent amount of people, like how did you feel about 2023? What was that year like for you? Like, you know, just to summarize, sum it up for me. And I genuinely feel like for 2023, I think for a majority of people, that was the first year since 2020 that it wasn't like, excuse my language, but it wasn't a shit year. It was not a shit year. Like 2023 was the first year in a minute that felt like an okay year. Like, of course it had its ups and downs, because life is going to have its ups and downs. There's gonna be bad moments with good moments, and you know, vice versa, happiness with sadness. Like there's gonna be those moments. That's life. It's never just all good or all bad. It's usually just a mix of both. I mean, there's been, you know, I'm sure there's been years where it's been mostly one or the other, but I feel like 2023 was the first year, not even just for me, but I feel like for a good amount of people, that it was a nice balance. It was a nice balance of good and bad. It was like it was actually a decent year. Like I can't really complain for 2023. I cannot really complain. That's the first year in a minute I won't say that I will necessarily miss 2023, like it was that great that I'll miss her, because I'm always excited for a new year, for a fresh start. But on New Year's Eve, when New Year's Day came, reflecting back on the past year, that was the first time in a minute that I haven't thought to myself, like, thank God, like that was a year, that was a tough year. I haven't felt that way about 2023, and I feel like, you know, knock on wood, where's wood? Things can only go up from here. I don't want to jinx it, but I feel like things can only go up from here. I went to a couple concerts. I finally moved out and got my own little place, my own cute little apartment. I don't do New Year's resolutions. I stopped doing those years ago because it's usually all the same thing anyways, and I just don't find it effective for me to go down that route of like, what's my New Year's resolution, and go off of that. It just hasn't worked for me in the past. I have a series of, you know, goals or aspirations that I would like to accomplish, hopefully within this new year. And my main thing, since I don't do New Year's resolution, is just really being organized with a planner. So planners are like my new best friends. I don't use it as much as I would like to, and I'm like forcing myself to use them more and more. I've got like 3 planners right now, and I'm juggling between 2. I need to see my plans. Like I need to see if I have an appointment that's coming up, or if I'm supposed to be hanging out with a friend at a certain day for, you know, a certain time. I don't know, like anything. Like I need to see, like I'm a very visual person, so like these things are like bread and butter for me. Like I need them, they're a necessity. I've low-key learned within this past year that I like to host things now that I have my own place. My love languages are gift giving and acts of service. I don't remember where I was going with that. I'm so sorry. Interesting. Oh, yes, I do. Okay, so being an adult is wild, right? So gift giving and acts of service is my love language. So during Christmas time, I thrive because I love giving gifts to my loved ones. But this is the first time this past year, like the past holidays, that I was, you know, coordinating giving gifts to people while I have a place of my own. Like usually it's I'm living at home, so I have more space financially to really like go out. But this was the first year where it's like, I guess you can say money's a little tighter because I have bills to pay now. I was worried that I wasn't going to be able to give gifts to the extent that I would like to. Like I really didn't want to go a super cheap route. And I know gifts are not about the price of them. I'm not a materialistic person in that sense. Anybody who has gift giving as a love language knows it's never like a materialistic. We're never coming from a materialistic standpoint. But like as someone who loves gift giving, like I really I put in the thought and the care, and sometimes it does cost a little more, sometimes it does. So I was worried that I wouldn't be able to deliver like I would like to, like I usually would, but I think I did pretty good. I'm really proud of myself. Like I'm doing so many first things as like somebody who has moved out and has an apartment now. It's a trip for real. But yeah, the holiday season was great. Cleaning up my eyebrows, I used the LA Girl Pro Concealer in Dark Cocoa. Now I'm going to be using the P. Louise base in Rumor 5. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just doing makeup so I can talk to you guys and catch up with the girls. 2023 for me was a year of initiating boundaries. And I feel like 2024 is the year of me really like standing on those boundaries. I feel like I'm at a point of my life where it's a different aspect, and you don't know unless you're there, but you're forever discovering yourself and figuring out who you are and what you like and what you don't like and what are your hobbies and all of that. You're forever doing that. So there's a difference between when I was like in high school as a teenager trying to figure myself out versus being in college trying to figure myself out versus now in these mid to late 20 somethings trying to figure myself out. It's very different. Like you're forever doing it, but it's different depending on the point of your life that you're in. And it's really opened my eyes to, you know, a few things. One of them being, wow, did I put a lot of this on? One of them being I'm figuring out myself as a person, what I like. Now that I'm like really living like here on my own. Once I got settled into my apartment, I was like, okay, so who am I? What do I want to do? Do I want to be more active in the gym? Do I want to go like work out more? Like what do I want to do in my downtime? I found myself tapping more into self-love in a whole different level than I ever have before, and I love it, and it's so genuine, and it's something that like I've heard people talk about, but it's something that you can't force yourself to get to. Like you have to get there organically, and everyone really is on their own journey or their own path on their own time. I feel so grown just talking the way that I am, but this is really where I'm at right now. Yeah, I've tapped so much more into self-love. Living by myself. I've already been taking myself out on like solo dates of different kinds before moving out on my own, but it kind of amped up to a different degree. I went to concerts by myself. I've taken myself out, always being safe of course, but like and I don't feel anxious about it. I don't feel scared. Like I had an Uber driver, this woman, she was amazing, and she was like giving me some recommendations of some great clubs, and she was like, I am so in awe of you. Like, you're an inspiration. It's amazing to see you. You're young and you're out here going out by yourself, and that's something that I couldn't see myself doing at my age. I don't know, I've really gotten comfortable with my solitude, like to a whole different level. Of course, being an introvert, you know, I like being by myself and doing things by myself, but this is to a whole different level. These are things that I've never done by myself before that I'm doing by myself, and I'm open to doing by myself. I'm so much more open to trying new things now, whether it's with myself or with friends. I say yes to things more. When friends ask me to hang out, if I'm available, I say yes and I go. I think a really good video idea would be to do like a solo date video, like just to take you guys with me and just see what that's like for me. And I think that would be like a great message and just energy for anyone that comes across it. Like, you know, to just give yourself like love, like whatever that may be. It could be taking yourself out to eat or whatever. Like, I'm trying new things, and half the time, if not more than half the time, it's by myself, and I enjoy it, and I meet people along the way. I always have a good time. I've never had a bad experience doing anything on my own, and I would love to share that energy and that aspect of my life with you guys, of just loving myself and taking myself out on dates and taking myself out to explore these new experiences. I have not touched this palette in a minute. Do you guys remember this palette? If you've been here for a while, I haven't touched this palette in a minute, so let's dip into it. Another thing that's been big for me in this era of my life that I've been in, and also intertwining into something that I've really been tapping into in 2023, is nurturing my friendships, and I'm definitely going more into that into 2024. There's just something so special about genuine friendships, okay? Something so very, very special about it. And I'm not saying that I didn't value my friendships growing up or when I was younger, like when I was a teenager, when I was in college, because I've always valued my friendships. But I will say that as I've gotten older, I've valued them so much more, and I've just realized the importance of genuine friendships and having that like stable, consistent, reciprocated sisterhood. A lot of my friends, you know, we're all like the same age or around the same age. We're all figuring a lot of stuff out ourselves. We're all going through different things in our lives, but for the most part, like, we always still show up for each other, and I think that's so important. I feel like within the last year, especially like from moving out and just going through all of this stuff of like figuring out adulthood, I don't know, I don't know what I would have done or how I would have been able to have such as smooth of a transition as I've had that last half of the last year without my friends. Friends are so important. They're so important. If anything else, there are a lot of things in your life that are going to come and go and that are going to change, but like having that core group of friends that are, you know, like you think about them and there's no hesitating, like it's so important to have that. And I want to pour so much more love and just do more for the girls. Like, there's no beef with me and anyone, but I will say that I've learned as I get older that some people are here for a while, some people are here forever. I don't have any ill intentions towards anyone, but I've learned to not sit in that one feeling of being so upset that I've lost someone that I thought would be in my life forever. I got tired of having the same conversation when nothing really evidently was changing. Sometimes you just have to love people from a distance, and I've definitely learned that sometimes you just gotta take a few steps back. It's shown light for me, for other people, that maybe we're not there, you know, and some things need more work, and that's fine. That's life. I've been so conditioned to be a people pleaser that I kind of just neglect myself and what I feel for the sake of others, and I have stood down on that at the end of 2023 going into 2024. That's what I'm talking about, boundaries, and just sticking to them, like standing on business, standing on those boundaries. I just gotta go off of how I feel. You get older and there's certain things that you just don't have as much patience for, or certain things that you just won't put up with for much longer. And I'm at the point where I feel like even in romantic relationships, when dealing with guys, certain things that I've dealt with and I've dealt with for so long, hoping that things would change and they don't with a guy, like I would never do that now. Like I'm done overextending myself and hoping that like they get it, they see that I'm trying. Bobbi Brown and vitamin rich, it's a long like name, vitamin enriched face base, smells so good. And I'm going on my House Labs foundation now. Let me just say, in my last video I tried the House Labs foundation. I had the wrong shade. I had to go back in store and get the right shade because I knew there was a reason that I was bronzing so hard in that video, trying not to look like I was casket ready, babe. This is my actual shade. This is in 520 Deep Cool. I'm trying to read more in 2024. I'm in between 3 books right now, which is insane. Whoa, I love this foundation. Yo, it covered up like everything. I forgot to color correct. It covered up everything. Use that time that I use like on my downtime to be, whether it's on my laptop or on my phone, and take some time to read. The e.l.f. Halo Wand contour in the shade Tan/Deep. This is good. It's the Charlotte Tilbury dupe. I've avoided talking about love life stuff because really truly guys, there is nothing that you guys are really missing out on. Like I'm not gatekeeping nothing or no one. I'm not sitting around waiting for a guy, you know. Sure, there are times when I get a little lonely. I've just been enjoying being single, like truly being single, and just enjoying that because I know what I bring to the table, or what I could bring to the table if that opportunity arises. I have a feeling that whenever that moment does come where I do end up in a romantic relationship, more than likely it might be endgame for me. I have standards that I won't, there are certain things that like there's no meeting halfway, like you either have it or you don't, and they're not anything that's unrealistic or hard to reach. Like, but guys, if you're single and you're in the dating pool and you're around my age, you already know what it's like. Really just so much more focused on myself, genuinely more focused on myself, and just giving my love to my friends, like people who show me love and you know aren't wasting my time. Like there's so much more love out there. Like I want to do it right as possible. I don't want to feel like I'm in a rush, like, you know, because there's so many people now, like so many people are popping out pregnant, so many people are engaged or married or, you know, starting a family, and that's great, lovely for them. But I want that for me when it's time for me to have that. I don't want to feel like, okay, like I'm at this age, so I should have been in love by now, I should have been like engaged by now, or I should have like already been pregnant with my first child by now. It's not a race. It's certainly not a race. Trust me, I've had those moments where I was down bad. Like I'm not trying to make it seem like I love being single. I've always loved being single, and I was never sad or lonely. I guess it's just timing. While I'm single and I don't have to worry about anybody else but myself and my cat, I'm gonna enjoy it. Not to say that my freedom's gone when I'm in a relationship, but it is different. Like you have to consider someone else's feeling. Yo, the skin has never looked smoother, and that's also on skincare. My battery's dying, but I'm not done with my makeup. I have been loving this mascara lately, the Fenty Beauty Hella Thick mascara. It's not just because I love Riri. No, this mascara is really good. I've learned to give myself grace. Growing up, when I was in high school, I thought at this age I would have already probably been married and we would have already had our first kid. And honestly, I'm glad that I'm not there. I can't be having a kid now in this economy. Also, I'm not ready to have a kid, but I really need to sit and realize like where I am right now, like how many people my age as day-to-day like regular middle class girly can say that they were able to move out and live on their own, especially in this economy. Like let me talk my shit for a minute, okay? I'm in a pretty good spot. Like I dreamt of being at this point of my life at one point. I wasn't even sure if I would ever get to this point of being able to have my own place or really being able to afford to move out. But I'm here, babe. But I'm here. Let's just sit and learn to just give ourselves grace and really acknowledge where we are now and how at one point we didn't think that we would be there. Give myself my flowers, giving credit to where it's due, and sometimes we don't give that credit to ourselves when we deserve it too. Don't look at the edges, babe. Don't look at the edges. I need to wash my hair. But like, do you see this? Thank you so much for watching. If you're new and you like what you see and you would like to see more from me, please do not be afraid to click the subscribe button down below. Your girl loves making new friends. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video.